I wasn't planning on dropping an upload for today, but yeah, I got a small break in the action, so here we go. Now, without a doubt, the two subjects that seem to attract the most attention when I upload a video, I could be talking OG Division or Division 2, it really doesn't matter. Anyways, the two most requested items are, of course, Hunters, which I've been bringing you in mass, but will not be on the menu for today. And then the second topic is exotics. How to get them, where to get them, why can't I get them? You get the point. Exotics again dominated this week for the Division, as most of the action swirled around the Dr. Home rifle and the possibility of the General Anderson exotic loot farm being crushed, then adjusted, then reverted, and now every player in the game will be receiving a free Dr. Home at some time in the future. No mention on if we will be able to actually break this one down for exotic components. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear, and I'm going to be doing this unscripted, so sit back and enjoy. Remember to smash that big, beautiful subscribe button and ring the bell to stay up to date on all my latest uploads. While you're at it, set your YouTube notifications to receive all, or you could miss it when my latest video drops. Let's talk shop with exotics. Enjoy. Basically, anytime I post a video, even if it's not about exotics, I could be talking Hunters or the Division 3 or Resurgence, there's always some sort of comment about people wanting access to exotics in the Division 2 and the fact that certain exotics are locked behind certain content, and that's just how the game is. And if I remember correctly, thinking back to Division 1, there were certain items that were locked behind certain content even back in that game. If you remember when Survival came out, that was the only way to get the, at that point, it was an exotic, the MDR, the Micro Dynamic Rifle. It was the only way to get it. It dropped in survival caches. I was lucky. I think I got it on my 4th or 5th run, and I was able to do a video about it. I was so stoked. That was the only way you could get it, though. If I remember correctly, the Hungry Hog, when it originally dropped in the Division 1, was a DZ exclusive, and you had to go in there and actually get one to drop. I may be wrong on that. It's been a while, but all of this has kind of been brought to the forefront again this week because of the shenanigans that happened with the Dr. Home, with the General Anderson Manhunt exotic farm, and then this, which I'm showing you now on screen, kind of popped up over on the Trello Division 2 known issues board, and it says PvP. I don't know exactly why it says PvP. I'll explain that in a second, but it says exotics that are otherwise exclusive to a specific content or source are available as random contaminated drops in the DZ. So I think why they have this listed as PvP is because they're planning on, or possibly planning on, incorporating all exotic drops as contaminated drops into the Dark Zone. So let's process this for a second. If I'm reading this correctly, they're talking about taking everything otherwise exclusive to a specific content or source. So they're talking about taking every exotic that was previously hidden behind content that you had to complete in order to get a chance to get this item to drop. They're talking about including them into contaminated drops in the Dark Zone. Full disclosure here, I basically had a brain fart. I had to jump over to the Division fandom. I grabbed this screenshot that you see now because I forgot just how many exotics are in this game. There's a bunch of them. But if we look here, just look at the assault rifles. Eagle Bearer, Capacitor, Chameleon, the Bighorn. Eagle Bearer, of course, locked behind Dark Hours Raid. You got to finish it for a chance to get it. Capacitor, I believe, was something to do with the Summit, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think there was anything on the Chameleon. And then the Bighorn is locked behind Roosevelt Island Legendary. Just going down this list a little further, Diamondback, of course, the end of Kenley College. Remember that? Yeah. The Ravenous, Iron Horse Raid, Dr. Home, of course, Season 10. Pestilence, I believe that's, a Dark Zone exclusive. Nemesis, a series of fetch quests versus occupied missions. Same thing with the Chatterbox. There was a whole series of that stuff with the Liberty. I'm down on the sidearms for that one as well. Scorpio, my personal favorite exotic in the entire game, along with the Memento backpack. But the Scorpio was a seasonal reward. Regulus, Iron Horse raid, Busy Little Bee, seasonal reward. And I guess as I receive these comments, and I hear both sides of it, and I'm going to let you know where I stand at the end of this, but I hear both sides of this. And I'm just going to throw out what I think is going on here. First off, I know there are some super dedicated raid groups. You know, the speed runners, the people that like to carry people through. This is what you specialize in. And those are people that believe, for the most part, that raid exclusives should stay locked behind the raid. If you want a raid exclusive, you got to go finish the raid. Okay? But I think on the other side, there are, and this is a much larger group, there is this huge majority of solo players. These are the people that maybe they log on every other day. Maybe, you know, once a day they log in for 30 minutes, an hour, something like that. I think that cross-section of players dominates this game right now. And so these are the people that want to have access to this, but they're not going to go do Dark Hours raid. They're not going to do Iron Horse raid. Maybe they don't have the kind of build capacity or even just the time available to go try Roosevelt Island Legendary solo. And so they can't get the bighorn. Anyway, I see both sides of this. I know that people want access to this gear. There are people that are, I'm not going to call them territorial, but they're certainly protective of items that are exclusive to what they want to do. And then, of course, we have the majority of players, which I think are the solo players. So, for instance, otherwise exclusive to a specific content or source. Let's say that maybe they include the Eagle Bearer into the Dark Zone and you can grab it as a random contaminated drop. Now, if I'm not mistaken, contaminated drops have to be extracted, right? So instantly, this is just me speaking as a PC player, and I'm PC exclusive on the Division 2 pretty much. This sends up huge red flags for me because the Dark Zone on PC is an effing mess. It is contaminated with hackers. I've been into the Dark Zone. I've posted footage of this to my channel where some dude is 10 blocks away blasting everyone with rapid fire nemesis through buildings. And you report the players, and then they're just like, they'll even come down in the comment section. They're like, I don't care. I've got 10 other accounts. I'll just log back on, come back in, and ruin your day. And this is a big issue if it's going to be locked behind the Dark Zone. There are a lot of players that do not engage with the Dark Zone at all. And I know you're trying to, and I say you are, the studio, Massive, is trying to drive up engagement with the Dark Zone, but there's just so many people that are anti-Dark Zone. And this is coming from me, someone that would actively go into the Dark Zone in the OG Division game. I love that Dark Zone. Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail, but these smaller Dark Zones where me as a solo player, I don't have the kind of space necessary to roam around and set off fake extractions if I'm being followed, kind of throw people off the scent, because you can be anywhere in this Dark Zone. You can run from the southeast corner to the northwest corner and be there before the extraction set off. So you don't have that option of space. You can't use that space against other players. I think this is the wrong move, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this down in the comment section. This is just me saying I think this is a bad move. If they want to open up raid exclusives, legendary exclusives, whatever content exclusive exotics, and put them into the loot pool, then this is just my 2 cents. They need to be in the general loot pool for exotics overall for the game, not just for the Dark Zone. Okay? Now, maybe it's a better experience on PlayStation and Xbox. I read kind of, yeah, it's great, and no, it's just as bad. But I'm telling you, on PC, it's a nightmare to go into the Dark Zone. Just some wild, wild stuff happens. Easy anti-cheat is apparently very easy to cheat against. So it's not EAC, it's ECA, easy to cheat against. And so you see the sky's the limits when you go into the dark zone on PC. So just my 2 cents here. I'd love, and this is just me campaigning for this, I'd love to see everyone get the opportunity to get that Eagle Bearer, to get that Ravenous, to get that Regulus, to get whatever it is, the Bighorn. There's other gear pieces that are kind of content exclusive too. I'd love to see that just open up. I'd love to be in a squad that I just randomly matchmake for on a mission, and we go do it, and all of a sudden somebody that has been a Division 2 solo player all their lives just haven't hit the matchmaker, and they get an Eagle Bearer to drop, and they start screaming on the mic. I love those moments. I used to have those moments in Destiny when I played Destiny, and we finished the raids and somebody got a Gallahorn and they just absolutely just go orgasmic on the microphone. It's what gaming's all about, right? It's those enjoyable moments. I think Division 2 needs to do this. If you want to drive up player enjoyment, if you want to drive up player engagement, then dump them all. Every last exotic, throw them into the general loot pool. And if I think back correctly, and I know some of these are raid exclusives, like I was very lucky I got the Eagle Bearer on my very first raid clear. But that was the first version of the Eagle Bearer when it was basically the Vex Mythoclast of Mythocast or whatever it's called from Destiny. It was basically that when it first came out. It was a laser beam of death and everyone wanted to use that in PvP. It's since got changed. It's not the same Eagle Bearer. It's still a good weapon, but it's not the same. Anyway, I'd love to see these completely opened up. Put them all in there. Don't limit this to just extractions out of the dark zone, because it's still going to exclude a ton of players, because you're thinking, well, let's force them into the dark zone and we'll drive up the engagement. It's not going to do it. They're still not going to engage with it, especially not on PC, because it's the Wild West. People don't want to mess with that. Anyway, I'm going to try and keep this one as short as possible. It's just my thoughts on it all right there. And in the meantime, I've got, Division 1 footage playing in the background. That's all I had. Sorry, enjoy it. Hopefully you liked it. That's a Firecrest classified build popping off there with some buds from the Survival Sunday group. Anyway, leave me your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I'd love to read everything on this, the pros, the cons. Please lay it all out for me. Remember to smash that sub button and ring the bell to stay up to date on my latest uploads. If you could take a few seconds more to rate and or share this video, it would be greatly appreciated. Remember, you can find and follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and over on my community Discord server. Links to all my socials can be found in the video description and pinned comments below. I know this was fast, kind of wild and messy. Sorry about that, but it's all I had time for. This is Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear. Till the next one, peace out.